we are Group 2 from Dr. Zatil PBL class, and this is our poster presentation for SIE1002 Bioethics PBL.
Our topic for today, embryo editing, need or want.
In the United States, researchers are working on creating regulation for human germline editing. Despite significant progress with gene editing technologies like CRISPR-Cas, the National Institute of Health (NIH) decided at the end of 2015 not to fund researchers involving germline editing therapies. This cautious stance can also be seen globally. For example, at the International Summit on Human Gene Editing on December 3, 2015, it is recommended not using gene editing technology on human embryos intended for pregnancy. So our group has identified the central issue, that is the potential for genetic manipulation of embryos to interfere with nature and trigger unwanted changes. Reflecting these concerns, the preliminary decision is to oppose the manipulation of embryos. This will be evaluated based on harm, professional, fit, and publicity tests.
In 2018, a scientist in China named He Jiankui did something amazing. He used a new tool called CRISPR to change the genes of twin girls before they were born. His goal is to protect them from a dangerous disease called HIV. At first, everyone was excited, but then people started to worry. Was it okay to change genes like this? Because there were no rules in China about it, which made some people nervous. Another concern is by changing the girls' gene might make them more likely to get sick from other things. This could actually hurt their health. So the story of He Jiankui shows us how powerful science can be, but with great power comes great responsibility. We need to use science carefully and think about the consequences before making big changes.
As for the harm test, in which we evaluate the risks and try to minimize them while maximizing the benefits, we have identified several parties who will be affected by the human germline editing issue. Firstly are the mothers who carry the embryo. Looking from the aspect of health, human germline editing offers a potential solution to overcome infertility and also hereditary diseases, as after the human germline is modified, the pathogenic genes are removed and will not be inherited anymore. However, it also poses significant risks, including unintended gene mutations that might have unforeseen consequences. Furthermore, the possibility of having genetically related offspring can bring hope and joy to many families to have genetically related children, and this is morally justified. Yet, this practice is controversial and may conflict with certain religious beliefs, as there are some religions who do not permit the modification of God's creation. Next, we can move on to the embryos, which in terms of health, this research actually provides a chance for the unviable embryo to survive and they'll be free from diseases. However, it goes back to the same problem, where there might be unknown consequences and it would be very hard to fix. As for the society, this study actually gets to shape a stronger society, as the disease-causing mutations can be reduced from the human germline. But if something goes wrong, for example, we accidentally create a hub and it is too strong to be destroyed, it will pose a risk to the whole society, as the threatening genes will be passed on for generations. Last but not least, from the perspectives of a scientist, this research is able to enhance the professionalism in terms of the advancement of knowledge and technology to end infertility and also heritable diseases. However, they have to bear professional responsibilities, as the complexity of gene frequency is unpredictable and the risks are hard to be managed. As for the aspect of evolution, although this research is said to interfere with nature in terms of natural selection, there are actually a lot of other modern medicines that are made from research that also interfere with nature. However, it is still essential for us to consider the potential impacts on natural evolution and also the possible long-term effects on the human genome. As we compare the harms and benefits through this harm test, we can see that the risks of this research, such as unintended gene mutations and also societal impacts, are ignorable. With the uncertainties that are unable to be tackled at this moment, the risks had outweighed the benefits. Hence, the option chosen would be option 2, which is we should not proceed with this research as it is unsafe to proceed.
Now for the faith test. For Islam, I found this verse in the Quran which speaks about not changing Allah's creation. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, so direct your face toward the religion inclining to truth. The fitrah of Allah upon which He has created people. No change should there be in the creation of Allah. That is the correct religion, but most of the people do not know. This is from the Quran, Surah Al-Rum. For Christianity, I found this verse in the Bible indicating that anything created by God should not be rejected. For everything created by God is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving. This is from Timothy 1. Now for Judaism, I couldn't really find anything from the Torah, but I found this in an article which states that Jewish ethics emphasize the importance of saving lives above all else, which they call Ikwash Nefesh. And that suggests that the Jewish religion is okay with genome editing as long as it's for saving lives.
And now for the professional test. In the case of embryo editing, there is a high risk of causing a miscarriage, which according to Section 312 of the Penal Code Act 574, whoever voluntarily causes a woman with child to miscarry shall be punished with imprisonment for a term, which may extend to 3 years, or with fine, or with both. And if the woman is quick with child, shall be punished with imprisonment for a term, which may extend to 7 years, and shall also be liable to fine. And according to Section 313 of the Penal Code Act 574, whoever commits the offense defined in Section 312 without the consent of the woman, whether the woman is quick with child or not, shall be punished with imprisonment for a term, which may extend to 20 years, and shall also be liable to fine. And if a miscarriage does take place, and if the process goes wrong, the result may cause pain to the child, and as it was stated in Section 338 of the Penal Code Act 574, whoever causes grievous hurt to any person by doing any act so rashly or negligently as to endanger human life or the personal safety of others shall be punished with imprisonment for a term, which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, which may extend to 2,000 ringgit, or with both. So in conclusion, it would be safer and more logical to avoid embryo editing.
Now I will be presenting about the publicity test. We have conducted the survey that contains 6 questions and have been distributed to students of University Malaya and to the public. We received feedback from 31 responses and analysed it using pie chart. The responses reveal significant concern about the ethical implication and potential unintended consequences of genetic manipulation of embryos. There is strong opposition to research on human germline editing, particularly when it involves non-viable embryos, due to fears of unforeseen negative impact on nature and human health. While recognizing the promise of gene editing technologies like CRISPR for treating genetic diseases, the respondent emphasized the risk and the need for caution.
And here are some of the responses from the public.
In conclusion, according to the harm test, fit test, and professional test, we agree that germline editing technologies hold great promise. However, interference with nature may result in greater unwanted changes. This decision is the best option of this issue.
Thank you for watching. Bye.